Historically, localization has a lot of challenges. Some of them are very regional and some of them are global.
So some of the key challenges really are around visibility and planning. So it's a very complicated business, especially at the scale that we work in. So we have, a big ecosystem of partners that maybe are not as connected or as integrated as we'd like them to be. I think capacity in the industry is getting to be a challenge. I mean, it's no secret that our content volume is exploding, our competitors' content volume is exploding. So it's really a problem, I think, of scale for the industry, and I think that's where certainly cloud solutions and initiatives such as this, I think, really help.
So you've got this situation where I have a demand for more content running through a fundamentally very manual process, and it's just, you're not able to meet the demand. So the Cloud Localization Blueprint is really intended to bring a whole new set of efficiencies to these challenges.
There's an increasing need to get content out to market at the same time so that the entire viewing audience in the world can enjoy the content simultaneously. We marry that with a resource crunch on the vendor side within the industry. So these two facets point towards leveraging more technology to make the workflows more efficient.
We see several challenges with today's localization workflows, some of which is just information being siloed and understanding what exists where in what state. That could be in emails, that could be in spreadsheets, that might just be in chats. The other is just the overall output and the demand for localization and the efficiencies in those supply chains. So this project really looks to scale those workflows and allow us to use cloud technologies and on-demand resources so that we can overcome some of those limitations in capacity.
So there's all of these systems and processes that work independently, and it's very hard for someone who's in charge of the localization process to keep track of the status of every object they're localizing for every territory. So when launches are coming up in a new market, just to get the answer that's like, where do I stand with Poland, is hard to get, and I see it as kind of the key challenge area that this will address.
Every time we embark on an integration, one of the exercises we have to undertake is mapping language codes between two systems to make sure that they can each understand how they express language. It's a fundamental thing and it has to be right.
Lack of standardized language codes. How can we deliver content quicker to the viewer in a streamlined fashion if we're not all speaking the same language?
The lack of standardization across the industry. Everybody's doing it a little differently, and that can lead to waste of time, money, resources, and a lack of visibility.
The challenge with localization is to find the quality and still manage to get the speed of localizing and getting it to market in 40 plus languages as fast as possible. Localization is such an important part of creating content that people relate to, and doing that fast, efficient, with quality presents a lot of challenges for a media company today.
It's not so much about making everything as cheap and as fast as possible. It's sensibly using technology that exists in a way to make that localization process as efficient as possible and cost effective as possible, but that's not to say as cheap as possible. I think they're really important distinctions.
We're looking for efficiencies all the time while maintaining quality. We're definitely looking at tiering, so a real challenge for us is trying to pitch that tiering right. And the challenge of localization is always from salespeople and across the whole business is everybody wants it yesterday and they don't want to pay any more money for it and they still want to maintain the same quality, so that will never go away. But some of the blueprint might help to make some of those savings and efficiencies more achievable.